Welcome one and welcome all here on your favorite channel, live with Moponga J from Victoria Falls. Right here, standing at station number 1. Behind me there's a man they call David Livingstone, who is said to have been the one who discovered Victoria Falls. Well, you can't discover something where people are already in residence. The local people call this place Mosia Tunya, the smoke that thunders. And as such, when missionaries came to experience this, and as they call him, a missionary, an explorer, and a liberator, I wonder what he was liberating us from, because it is through some of these missionary escapades that Africa remained and started to be colonized. But yes, this is what he decided to call it. He decided to call this place Victoria Falls, after his own queen, Queen Victoria. And at the liberation of Zimbabwe, I thought this would be one of the first places which would be decolonized. Because the narrative that colonialists come here and they name our places and they name us must be challenged. And the next generation, as we go forward, we may think actually that we are sub when we are in fact subjects of our own narratives. And yeah, behind me here is David Livingstone, where one of the first white men to have come through at Mosia Tunya. And here at Mosia Tunya, it had been named by the Tonga people, and they believe somewhere in these great falls here, sacred as they are, is residence to the queen called Nyami Nyami, which is the big fish, where in times of hunger and drought, this Nyami Nyami would come out and lie on the sides of the river, and people would be cutting pieces of meat to eat for themselves. It is therefore true that Nyami Nyami could actually be connected also to Nyame, who is actually the Ghanaian way of naming God, and the Shona indigenous people here would call him Zame. So Zame, Nyami Nyami, Gai Nyame, you would almost hear some similarity in terms of our etymology. But we have a history as Africans with this great Zambezi River, and along this river you find the Tonga people living on the right-hand side of the river and on the left-hand side of the river, and through colonization they put a line that divides Zimbabwe and Zambia. But dividing Zimbabwe and Zambia did not divide the Tonga people that are here on the upper side, and further down the river you'd find the Tonga people that are again divided between Zimbabwe and Malawi, as it is pouring into the Indian Ocean. So we're here as Africans to retrace some of these steps and find out for ourselves what is our history like, where are we coming from, where are we, and where are we going. So they came here in phases. The first group that came out were explorers. Then the next group that followed after explorers, we call them mercenaries. These were the soldiers who came with guns, take over land, take over people, and then behind that came now the investors, who were the business community, who are now beginning to buy and sell goods around the world. So those three groups of people, they were coming from the same WhatsApp group. The explorers, followed by the missionaries, then the investors, as you call them, and then colonization began to pick up momentum from there. So you better know that missionary is only one phase away from exploitation and one step behind the explorers. The explorers were looking around, scouting around, doing philanthropy. Oh, we are just here to look. We just want to look and see how this place looks like. After they saw what the place looked like, they went back home, mobilized soldiers, came and killed and butchered and slaughtered and removed the heads of the kings, took over land and etc. And after that, behind them came now the exploiters, who were the investors who plunged Africa into the colonialism in where we now find ourselves. And now when we are looking back at where we are coming from, understanding that is critical so that we can be able to start moving forward. I will show you around one or two places right here at the great Mosia Tunya, the smoke that thunders.